Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to another episode of PSAI Talk Show. This is Flight Lt Sonali, and I'm the host for today. I'm a leadership coach and a soft skill trainer, and I conduct trainings for corporates as well as academic institutions. So, speaking of PSAI, it's a Professional Speakers Association of India, and this is a community where a lot of speakers come together, and your potential to become a professional speaker is enhanced so that you get a chance globally and also a chance to become a professional speaker. So, today we have one more eminent guest on the show in this series of talk show, and she is none other than Dr. Alka Chadha. And I'm quickly going to introduce her. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to the show. It's really nice to have you here. And I'm going to quickly introduce ma'am in few words. So, Dr. Alka Chadha, a doctor for 30 plus years, is on a mission to help youngsters to discover their true potential with the power of emotional intelligence. With the power of storytelling, Dr. Alka Chadha shares her personal story of self discovery and how she turned her personal challenges into purposeful action. Have you ever wondered how people or your genuine connections, your true friends, can make you feel alive? How feeling alive can impact your mental and physical health and your life journey? So let's figure it out together. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to the show, and it's so wonderful to have you here. so, uh, Ma'am, I think you're mute, so kindly unmute.
Thank
Yes.
you. A very big thank you to the PSAI platform and to you, Sonali, for Anupriya, for Kavina, for Brigadier Bhasin, for each and every one of you who is here with me and who has helped me to come up to this level to be able to give a talk show. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. And we are looking forward to an excited evening and a wonderful evening full of insights. So, the first question is like you have mentioned the power of human connection. So, can
Yeah.
you tell us more about this power of human connection,
Yes,
please?
yes. So this is my really favorite topic because today I find that we are getting disconnected. All of us are hiding behind our cell phones, so to say. We don't know what is the meaning of meeting together. We don't know what is the meaning of hugging somebody. We don't know the pleasure of hugging somebody. We don't know intimacy. We are losing touch with the intimate and the physical part of our lives. And here I am always trying to understand the opposite person. I'm always saying that don't listen to the person who's in front of you. So you'll laugh and you'll say, why should you not listen to the person in front of you? Why are you saying like that? What I'm trying to say is that listen to what he is not saying. In my clinic, in my corporate clients, when I listen to them and they're complaining about X, Y, or Z, or they're complaining of a pain in the back, it's not that the pain is the one which is bothering them. They're saying something else to me. They're looking and they're crying for closeness and for care from the opposite person. In the office, also, you'll find that if you're not well seen, now, Sonali, you are yourself worked in a background in the army. If you're not, if you're invisible to your boss or to your colleagues, to your team, how do you feel? If your words are not taken seriously, if you're not taken seriously by your team or by your seniors, you feel bad, right?
Yes, we don't feel valued actually. We'll not
Absolutely.
feel valued or even
Absolutely,
feel.
absolutely wonderful. So it is a human need. It is a human need, and what I have read in Wayne Dyer's book is the need for connection, the need for connection, for being valued, for being acknowledged, for being noticed, for being cared for being appreciated is much, much, much more than the need for food. We can live without having food, water for a few days. But when we feel we don't have that belonging to a community, to a human being, to a family, anything, to a group, we are disgusted and we become isolated, and that is where the loneliness starts setting in. And today we are having epidemic of loneliness. And if you really ask me, I see it every single day. every single day. I see it in my life. I see it every single day with my patients, with my corporate clients. Even when I go to my corporate clients, the bosses are saying something that, why don't you tell them about emotional intelligence? But actually, the leaders have to be good. They should be able to tell their vulnerabilities, to they should be able to tell their problems to the juniors, and only then the juniors can share their problems with the seniors. This is what I have learned in my life. You know, Sonali, when we were younger, how we were living our lives. We had small houses, but we had big hearts. I remember the opposite house was always open. My mom, she was preparing some food and giving me, and I was always going to the other house to give that particular food item that I had prepared. And I used to get very irritated. I said, Mommy, what is this? Every time you tell me to go and give this to them. And then in that same vessel, in that same bowl, when I have given the chola, we had a Gujarati couple staying there. That their daughter used to bring chola, she used to bring dhokla in that. And then this was a continuous affair going on. I am going to give them, they are going to give us, I am going to give them. But that time I didn't understand. This is what the connectivity was being established. Even when we had Diwali, I remember that my mother used to make papad or she make wafers. In my kitchen, in my house, all the women and the neighboring aunties used to come and sit in my kitchen, and we had so much fun, helping the mummies and all the aunties there. They were making all those semia and the chakli and the chips and all of that, and we used to dry them off and we used to eat it off, and we had fun, because we were meeting people. We are not, we are social animals. We need people around us. We are interdependent on people. We are hardwired for connection, and this is a human need. It's not something it's established today. It has been there for millions of years. Even when the predators were there, our ancestors were there, they were hunting in groups. They were not hunting one alone person. They were hunting in groups because it was a need to be helped by the other person if there is a danger. If there's a big one lion is coming, roaring lion is coming in front of you, you know that you have a group, you can help each other and you can
Yes.
run away. So helping each other, caring for each other is a human need. And today, because of the telephone, we are blaming the cell phone. But because of the screen or because of the gadgets, because of technology, we are hiding behind, and we are suppressing our emotions. We're not able to express our emotions. And that is why I say that a couple also, when they come to me, they are fighting for no reason. When she's telling that your shoe is left here or your towel is thrown here, she's not saying that. Actually, she's crying for closeness, and she's crying for being cared for. The husband, if he's saying something, he's crying for power. So basically, we are all asking for something or the other in our lives through different triggers in our lives. And that is why the need for human connection becomes more and more, it becomes more and more deep in our today's life. So thank you for that question. It's like a very passionate topic of mine, and I
Yes,
can go
I
on.
can say
I'll
that.
just
I
stop
can
here.
say
Yeah.
that.
Over to you,
Yes, and
Sonali.
what you beautifully said is that listen to what is not being said. I think nowadays the conversations have become very superficial, and maybe people hardly even hear what is being said. So leave apart what is not being said. One thing I can just connect with, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that during COVID times we again lost that human connection. So after the pandemic was over, we found this emotional breakdown a lot, and people wanted to socialize more, and they didn't want to confide themselves. So again, we can relate this to human connection or human bonding, we can say that. uh,
Absolutely. When we are alone, see, actually, the two things which happened in the pandemic. One was we connected more better with our family members because that's what we had. We had to talk to our family members. When in real
yes.
life, we're running away from them, we are hiding. This boy had come to my house. He was my son's friend, and he told me that I said, "How are you doing? Like, what's your life like nowadays? So you're doing a great job." He said, "Yeah, auntie, I'm doing this job in Reliance, and I'm really earning a lot of money, and I'm very happy with what I'm doing. And my wife is also working somewhere else, but I have one problem." So I told him, "What is that?" So he says, "My mother is always complaining." I said, "Why?" So she says that you don't have time for me. Then he opens his phone and then he shows me his routine. I have to get up at 5:30. I do meditation. I go for a walk, and then I go to jog, and then I go for swimming, whatever he was doing, and then he was going to work. And he showed me till the end of the day how busy he was. So he asked me one question. He said, "Ma'am, auntie, what time can I connect with my mom?" I said, "Look, your mom is not asking for 1 hour or 2 hours. Do you meet her in the morning? Sometime at least you see her during the day, 24 hours. How many minutes do you see her? No, she gives me breakfast. She gives me breakfast. So that's a time. You can give her a
Yes.
hug. You can just talk to her. You can give her a kiss on the forehead. You can say, "How are you, Mama?" Or you can say, "Mama, आपने नाश्ता खाया? Mama, क्या हाल है आपका?" She's enough.
Very true.
She's happy with that. So connection is not about deep diving into something, having a great deep connection or deep conversation. But the most important thing is that you care for the other person, and you want them to be seen, you want them to be appreciated, and that does not take anything, it doesn't take time, it needs an intention to connect. It needs your mind has to be ready to connect with the opposite person. It could be your spouse, it could be your child, it could be your mom, your dad, or your colleague in the office. So all of these things are hinting towards going for deeper connection with the opposite person, just making them feel seen, heard, and acknowledged. Thank you. Over to you.
Absolutely. As you said, in this hustle bustle and the chaotic life we all live, I think we don't have time to pause and even see around. So, as you very well mentioned, it's not only, I mean, family members, even in office or otherwise, who is around us, how they are feeling. We don't have time. The work is done, yes or no. What is the time? We have to rush from one meeting to the other, and that's all we do. And we all do that. So even I don't deny that I come in the category, and it's a conscious effort, I think one needs to do.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I mean, mindful, we have to be mindful, as you mentioned. So what is the secret behind this human connection? What's that secret you would like to share with us?
See, before the secret, no, I want to tell you that we have a mind, body, spirit complex. There's a science behind this connection. When we are connecting with people, we have what is known as a psycho neuro endocrine axis. Psycho is the brain, psycho is the mind, neuro is the brain, and endocrine is the hormones. So when I'm connecting with you, Sonali, right now, when we're talking to each other, we are bonding with each other, we are creating a lot of rapport with each other. We are secreting a hormone which is known as oxytocin. And as we are laughing and as we're talking and we're having these meaningful conversations, we're secreting a lot of serotonin. Now, these are all positive hormones and they help us to activate the prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex is the executive brain. It helps you to get into action, to do things. But if we are not activating that particular part of the brain, and if we are going into negative brain, let us say we have a situation and somebody has told us to do something, and I feel that I cannot do it. So I'll say, no, I cannot do it. Or more than that, if I'm lonely, if I'm not feeling good about my own self, the question I'm asking everybody is, do you feel good about yourself? Are you able to connect with your own self? So the science of neuroscience of loneliness and neuroscience of connection says that when you're lonely, the negative hormones are being secreted, and the topmost hormone is what? Cortisol. And when you're lonely for a pretty long time, the cortisol hormone increases in your body. It comes from the brain, and this cortisol hormone acts on the different parts of your body, on all the organs of your body. And because of that, you get different kinds of manifestations on the liver, on the kidney. You can get blood pressure, you can get depression, you can get anxiety, and this comes like a stress, which is it. Loneliness is a kind of a stress. Loneliness is equal to having 15 cigarettes per day or sitting in your chair for 20 hours per day. It's also equal to having alcohol and obesity. So loneliness is equal to all of these things. So can you imagine the brunt of loneliness on our lives? So it's really deep today. So what I'm trying to say is that when we are lonely, we are stressed. It's exactly the same thing like what happens in stress. And the loneliness is killing us today. And it's not only about the people in Singapore who are very work oriented. It's not only about the people in the Silicon Valley, but today I'm seeing it in India. I'm going to the corporates and I'm seeing it in the offices. The senior people, 35 to 45 and 45 and above, they have everything. They say हमारे पास गाड़ी है बंगला I have got everything, but still something is missing inside. And why it is missing? Because they're only focusing on work. I want to be famous, I want to have good work, I want to. If you look at LinkedIn, what are we seeing on LinkedIn? Everybody is bragging about their own self. But do you
Yes.
connect to a person who is bragging? No, we don't. We connect to a person who is humble, who's having humility. We connect to a person who is just like us. He's not showing off and sitting on a high pedestal. And I would say the same thing applies as a speaker when we are going to connect with our audience. So this is what I want to say, that the science is very important, and then we can come to the secret. The secret is just the intention of meeting people where they are, and meeting and connecting with people, making them feel seen. So the two types of people are there. One is a diminisher. That means he will diminish the other people. Okay, he'll not allow them to rise, or he won't allow them to shine. And other
Okay.
is a illuminator. Illuminator is a person which helps you to shine. He has his own light inside himself, and he throws that light on you, and the other person also shines. I've already published that story yesterday about Ron Kaufman when I went to meet him in Singapore. Those are the lovely people in life. So that's the answer to my question. You can go ahead with your
I
other
think
question.
I think your answer I can relate with our movies, Hindi movies. All the heroes are illuminators. They keep helping and helping everybody, and all the villains are probably the diminishers who suppress other people and don't let them grow. So it's
I know.
really
I know, Sonali. Sonali, I like your filmy andaz to everything because it makes things very easy. So I'm going to answer the next question, whatever it may be, in a very filmy andaz. Over to you. What is the question? Bolo.
okay. So I have heard about some three P's of yours. So what are those? If it's not a secret, share it with us.
No, no, it's not at all a secret. But I will tell you that in my life, I was also running. I was also running and running and running. I didn't know where I was running. I had two children, and everybody knows that story. I fell down. I broke my ankle, and when
Okay.
I was cast, my leg was cast in a cast. So I was immobilized. It was my life was immobilized. And I feel that the universe is always showing us, it's always showing us the ways, the signs, but we're not looking at it. Universe is telling us you need to pause, you need to go slow, you need to spend more time with your family, you need to spend more time with your child, which I was not doing. And Sonali, at that time, my children were so small, and they used to fall sick again and again. And my pediatrician professor, he made me sit down one day and he said, Alka, if you're going to be so stressed, running, running, running all the time, your health and your children's health is going to be kharab, is going to be dangerously bad. And he was the one who gave me something in my head. He put some brains in my head. He was my mentor. And till today, I always listen to him. And he said to me, if you don't take action now, it'll be too late. And just after that only I fell down. And it was not very late, I would say. It was the universe is calling to me that you resign your job. The thing to resign my job was so difficult. We were earning only 1,000 rupees each, and 1,800 was our installment. So we had to pay our house installment, and I run the house in 200 rupees, which was a challenge for us. But I said that I have faith in the universe, and it was the universe is going to help me, and the universe helped me. I resigned my job. I resigned my job, and then what happened was that how it helped me was that people came into my lives. I started telling storytelling to the young children, reading all kinds of Panchatantra and Gita and all kinds of storybooks for children and all the comics. And when I was telling them stories, I made them into bigger, bigger groups. And these bigger, bigger groups, after a few years, became my children had become teenagers by that time, and then they became. I launched my own happiness school. So I'm not telling all these things because the first P is people. The first P is people. Because even
Okay.
when I fell down, that day when I was on the ground, there was somebody standing on the top. When I looked up like this, there were 10 people there to lift me up. Two of them were on the ground with me, helping me to lift myself, my children, and my bags. So people are my asset, people are my strength, and people have always been there for me no matter where I am. My question to everybody is, how many people do you have in your life? At least five intimate people we are supposed to be having. Dunbar says like that. And if we can have at least two or three in our life whom we can go to, it may be your family members, it may be anybody, but at least two to three people if we have, with whom we can share whatever is in our heart, the deep thoughts that we have, being vulnerable to tell someone, I'm in trouble, I need your help, to tell somebody that really I'm down in the dumps today. I'm having a fight with my husband, or I'm having a fight with my son. I'm not okay today. Can you help me? That is the vulnerability I'm talking about. And vulnerability, being able to share your deep sorrows or your joys, helps you
True.
to connect better with the other person. So you people is this thing. The second piece, what is the purpose of your life? What is the why of your life? If we are having the purpose of serving the community, like Sonali, you are from the background, you're a trainer, you are from the veteran community, you're a trainer, you're a coach, and your is also even you're having the purpose of serving the community. You were serving the country first, serving the society first, and now you're serving the community as a leadership coach, as a soft skill communication coach. So even your purpose is very very clear to you. So when we become coaches or trainers, service is our main purpose of life. So that helps us to connect better with the people in our life. The third P is my most important P, that is about being playful in life. It's about being playful, having fun element in your life, having happiness in your life, and to be able to make fun of yourself, to be able to make fun of your
True.
spouse, to your colleague, of your boss, to be able to say something funny to any of these people, and that makes you smile, that makes you laugh, and laughter, my friends, breaks complete all barriers in life. So very long question, but I've made it as short as possible. These are my three P's in my
Beautiful.
life.
Yes, I think it was very insightful. And when you said that whatever happened with you again, that dialogue from the movie, it came back to me of Shah Rukh Khan ki koi cheez shiddat se chaho to puri kainat jut jati hai. And I read it in Alchemist also, the book
Yeah,
Alchemist also. So I think what you said is very very crucial. Like the human connection. Right, recently the our Hyderabad chapter we met physically. We met. We've been seeing each other online, but that physical meet was something at next level. It was
yeah,
all fun, and when you have people around you, it feels really great. And talking of purpose, we have Devesh Soni in our
yeah.
PSAI group who speaks on purpose. And since the time I have met him, that has stuck to me, that finding the purpose of what you do and being playful, as you said, it's extremely important, because nowadays saying something also becomes it becomes sensitive to people. So it is taking it sportingly is something that is required. So to make fun of your own self and having that light humor or jokes around is extremely important. So
Absolutely.
thank you for sharing such beautiful nuggets with us. And we have a great audience today with us. Midhu is there, and Devesh has written something. Vulnerability is so important, and we need to
Yeah,
have those friends
yeah.
where we can be vulnerable.
So
Absolutely.
actually, I want to add something after reading what Devesh has written, that where are those friendships? Today, I have in Hyderabad one of my dad's friend. They are in their 90s. My dad and my mom are no more. But these people, they know me from my childhood, and they're connected with me even today. In fact, last year I had gone to meet them, and again I'll be going to meet them this year. Point is that where are those friendships today? Are we doing something for the other person? So we say that we don't have friendships today, but are we even trying to be a good friend? Having good friendships happens only when we are trying to be a good friend. It's not going to happen automatically. Today we have AI based chatbots, we have AI boyfriends, we have AI girlfriends. You know why? The reason for that is because relationships are messy. Relationships are messy, they're hard work. You cannot get a good friend if you don't invest in your time and your love and affection in a friendship. If you don't do things for someone else, nobody is going to do anything for you. वो कोई छत पर से नहीं गिरने वाला है. So point I'm trying to make is कि how much of time are you investing in your relationship with others, and your connection with others will come only when you have connection with your own self. We are ourselves broken from inside, and how can we invest our time and friendship in other people? Not possible. No way. So my question to everybody is, first and foremost, what is your relationship with your own self? Are you having a positive relationship? How often do you spend time with your own self? How much time are you spending with your own self? How much time are you having a conversation with your own self? I used to be that kind of person. I used to always find faults with me. If something went wrong in my house, it was my fault. And I tell to everybody, it has taken me a while to understand myself. It's about sitting in silence. So there are two things to avoid loneliness and negativity. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling depressed, one of the things is go for a walk, or do some physical activity. What happens when you do physical activity is you're secreting serotonin, you're secreting some other hormones, some positive hormones you're secreting, epinephrine. So the those chemicals, when they're secreted in your body, you automatically start feeling better. These are the happy hormones. So feeling depressed, feeling low, the antidote is not lying in the bed. What we do is कम्बल ओढ़ के सो जाते हैं, चलो, I'm not feeling like doing anything, I'm going to sleep. Not when it's not going to help you, it's going to make you worse. So first thing that you must do if you're feeling low is go and get up and go for a physical activity. I'm not saying go for a walk only. Put on some music and dance to some music. Play some nice romantic song for yourself. Like, you are my Sonia. Because Sonali ka gana mujhe yaad aa raha hai. I just heard that song.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Na, 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 you are
You
my
are
Sonia.
my Sonia.
देखा जब
Very
से
nice.
तुझको, देखा जब से यारा, तुझसे कोई अच्छा है ना, तुझसे कोई प्यारा. So this song is meant for someone else. I tell everybody, I'm telling you, Sonali, because you're so filmy, that this song you sing for your own self. Sing for your
Yes,
own self and fill your cup up so beautifully that you feel so happy and positive with your cup full. When you invest time on yourself, when you connect with yourself so beautifully, there is no way that you cannot connect with the other people in your life. It cannot happen. So
absolutely,
first step is
absolutely.
to connect with your own self. When you ask me, the secret of connection is when you connect with yourself, when you're passionate about your life, when you're passionate about what you're doing, when you're passionate and you're proud about who you are, when you're passionate about your relationship, when you're passionate about other people, when you care for other people, you are filled up. You are completely filled up. And such a person is a very, very happy person. And let me tell you, friends, this kind of person is not going to fall sick, and he's going to be having more connections in his life and more deeper
True.
connections and more friends in his life. So having true friendship is important. It is not about having 2,000 followers or 50,000 followers or 1 million followers. Connection is not about networking. Connection is about finding out what is in your heart and making that
Very
other
true.
person feel seen. Yes.
I think it's very important, but again, it has to be a very conscious effort to do that, because it needs a lot of efforts. In the sense, we are tuned to a certain lifestyle, and though this is all very correct, we need to put efforts to actually take care of ourselves. So I think we have some very beautiful comments. Shipra Chawla, she's here, and she says thought provoking. We really need to halt and look within. That's wonderful. And
Thank
Brigadier
you, Shiv.
Sir, yes, Brigadier Sushil Basin, Sir is mentioning, Alka, you have a warm heart and you are always willing to give and contribute. I have seen you connect with people with love and care, not only in India, but also in all international meets. And
Thank you so much.
Midhu is saying nothing is unconditional now. So I think so beautiful comments. Devesh says it reminds me of emotional bank account from book Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, where similar to money deposit, how can we deposit love and care without any expectation so that when needed we can use that emotion? Wow, wow.
So I want to
All
get.
the
I think Devesh is making me think a lot, and a lot of things are coming into my heart. When you listen to people, there is a lot of peeling of your own onion taking place. And I want to answer this question. I want to tell him that when we are with people, what is our aim? So it's very simple. You're saying you to invest a lot of time and you to invest a lot of something. No, it becomes a habit. Slowly, 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 happiness becomes a habit. Happiness is a skill. Being positive becomes a habit. Being positive is a skill. And whenever we are low, whenever we go for a walk, when we do physical activity, you make a dance. Or the second thing I've not told you is to sit in silence. When you're depressed and if you sit in silence, it may not be the great idea. But after going for a walk and you come back, meditation and sitting in silence, connecting with your own self is one of the antidotes for becoming more active and for changing the structure of your brain. So the structure of your brain is changing no matter what. You like it or you don't, you know it or you don't. If you have the habit of making the other person feel visible, making the other person feel nice, automatically it's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you. Sonali, you're looking so nice today. I love your hair, the way you have kept it. So you are looking nice is a compliment. And if we get into the habit of giving two-word compliment, nice hair, nice sunglasses, nice dress, nice color, even if it could be something very, 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 very minuscule, but it can be made into a habit. So
Yes.
when I go to my clinic, I look at somebody is wearing long earrings. So I say, wow, long earrings, looking so nice. Somebody else is going to tell me. So this becomes a habit for you. And habit is something you don't have to think. You don't have to think. So instead of saying that, oh my God, it is another day in the morning. What am I going to do today? That is also a habit. So unhappiness is a habit. Happiness is a habit. Connection is a habit. Disconnection is also a habit. How do you disconnect? One thing, if all of us can understand how do we disconnect is when we inflate our egos very, very big. This I remembered after seeing Devesh's remark. And
Okay.
when we are egoistic, it's going to be in, we are going to be in big trouble. My mother said one is mithas and the other is vinamrita. Mithas is talk nicely. Don't be rude. Don't be sarcastic. In our
Yes.
Punjabis, no, we have that habit of being very, very sarcastic to people. We are Indians. We are sarcastic. My mother said, don't do that. Don't hurt the ego of the opposite person and talk nicely, talk politely. Why are you so rude to people? She used to tell me, I've always shared this with all of you that my mother used to always ask those people in the lift, Mishra ji, kya hal chal hai? Or she used to say, Pandey ji, kya hal hai aapka? So these are the things which help you to connect. Putting a smile on your face helps you to connect. Laughing for no rhyme or reason helps you to connect. Being like a child, just playing with the ball up and down helps you to connect. So there are so many things you can do, simple things that you can do which help you to connect. So I would,
Absolutely.
if I tell you the things that I have done in my life for connection, they are like innumerable. One thing that I remember very, very vividly is my dad used to write a lot of letters to me and to rest of the children in our family, and that habit I got, and I'm writing letters to my children. But I want to tell you all, write a letter to yourself. Write a letter to yourself, thank you letter to yourself, and also a let go letter to yourself, a forgiveness letter to your own self. And that has helped me a lot to connect with myself deeper and better. And that helps me to connect with the other people better. And that helps me to be a better speaker also. Over to you.
Yes, beautiful. I'm going to come to that question, but before that, I'm going to quickly read one or two comments again. So we have Shipra. She's saying this resilience has made you the way you are. That's a compliment. And Jessica Brightfield. Alka is my Indian sister from Mister. Slowly, slowly, this is the secret of growing optimism, silence, and patience. Thanks, doctor. Wow. And Brigadier Sir again has a complaint. I'll why he all the time. Girls are happy too. And yes, and we have Subramaniam joining us. Subramanian Narayanan. Alka is our PSAI most social, most connected member, and always good for a great conversation. So
Thank you so
wonderful,
much.
wonderful comments, and thank you everyone for joining us here. So just quickly, I'm going to ask you a very connected question: that how do you think that this human connection angle is extremely important for speakers? I mean, you've already kind of answered
Yeah.
it, but can we specifically say professional speakers' point of view? How would you like to answer that?
So I'll ask you a question, Sonali. As a trainer, as a coach, as a speaker, when you are facing your audience, what is your main aim at that time?
Okay, first is I try to connect with them, I try to bond with them, and I try to be relevant because whenever I go or whenever I start my training, I don't just start, okay, this is the topic and we are going to, it's not like that. First is that introduction, or I try to understand, uh, what level they are. So it's depending on the time, it's a small bonding that would
Yeah.
happen.
So depending on the context, you become related to the person in front of you, to the people in front of you, and your ultimate aim is to transform them or to make them feel seen, to make them feel visible, to show them that they really matter. This is what I
Absolutely.
understand as a person I'm standing on stage. It's about illuminating
Yes.
my audience. It's about making them show that I care for you. I really care for your problems and I want to help you to solve whatever your problems are. So whenever you go for a training, when I go for a training, I ask organizers, what is the main problem in your community, in your team, in your leadership? Sometimes I go for the juniors, sometimes I go for the seniors. So recently I had gone for the seniors, and the organizer told me that it is a lack of empathy. So I said, okay. So I spoke on empathy and leadership. And what I learned from them was that when I go and talk to the senior people, we have to break the ice with them. We had to break the ice, and these were very senior people from the bank. So all I had to do was find a commonality between them and me, and the commonality was that we are both service oriented. Our main purpose of our life is service. Whether I'm a doctor, whether I'm a teacher, whether I'm a trainer, speaker, coach, mentor, it is ultimately service to my community. I want to solve some problem in my audience, and that is what is my need and my want, and that is what gives me happiness. When I go with that kind of a thing to my audience, automatically my way of talking, everything is going to change. Imagine a person who stands on a high pedestal and he's saying, I did this and I did that, versus a person who says that, yes, I'm just like you. I've fallen down hundreds of times and I was just like you. And today I'm standing in front of you to connect with you. So you don't even say the words connect. You have to find a commonality with them, and then you
Yes,
break the
absolutely.
ice. Yes, yes, you break the ice with them, and then you start the conversation.
Yes.
So the question is that how is it helping me to become a better speaker? It is helping me because I start looking at my audience from the point of view that I am really going to give them something worthwhile. I'm going to give them something which is going to help them to grow. I really care for them. I really love them. So that attitude, when it comes within me, automatically the connection becomes better. Whatever their problem is. So we ask beforehand only what the problems are. In a speaking community, it becomes slightly difficult, but ultimately that rapport has to be made. The rapport has to be made between the audience and the person who's standing. And when we
Yes.
come down the stage, when we come down and we talk to them at the same level, then we tell them that we are all same. We have the same problems. We are all having the same problems in our life, and there's no difference between you and me. And that is where the connection starts.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is something like, this also reminds me, like when I went for one of the trainings, and I had this long session of series of trainings. So these students, they had come from a relatively, I would say, not a very urban background. So they were struggling with speaking English. They knew they could understand, they could speak, but it was not up to the mark. So when I told them that there was a time when I struggled with speaking in English in my school, because I also studied in a local school until I, got shifted to a convent school. Till that time, it was like horrible, horrible journey for me, because I
Yeah.
didn't understand a single thing and I couldn't communicate. So when I told them this and how I overcame that, all those aspects, so that was, I think that motivated them, and I was actually able to transform a few children, 2 to 3 people, and they got a good job, they placed in good companies, and that was, I think, the most satisfying training which happened. So as you mentioned, yes, coming down to their level and then connecting with them is
Yeah.
something which matters a lot. So
Absolutely.
absolutely. So now, ma'am, I would just like to quickly ask you about a little about PSS, as you have been there, and PSAI and PSS is, on the go, and we have an event coming up in Feb 2025. So a quick
Yes.
few lines about that, and
So PSI has been a wonderful platform for me where I have got an opportunity to speak my heart, to speak my connection, the value that I have within me, that I always go for connection, the power of connection, and the secret to connection is, and these people, in PSAI, they give me they give me strength, they give me energy, they give me enthusiasm. So you saw all these comments when they're coming, it makes me feel extremely, extremely happy that we're all connected like a big family. And this is what adds to my momentum in my life. And this momentum is the theme of our upcoming PSS 2025, friends. And if you see the energy, what is happening inside of PSI right now, the efforts that are going through making this PSS 2025 in the month of February in Bombay, in Mumbai, is going to be a great event. And all the people are working very, very hard. You're making videos, and Anupriya and Subbu sir and Brigadier Bhasin, and everybody is working very, very hard here. And I'm so blessed to be a part of this community where I get the energy from them, and it boosts me up and it makes me want to become a more better speaker. So definitely PSAI has played a very big role in in my life to go on international stage, and I'm very, very grateful to PSAI. A big shout out to PSAI. Thank you so much.
Yes. Absolutely couldn't, I mean, agree with you more because after joining PSA, also, the moment call anyone, message anybody, I think they're all there. It's
Yeah,
irrespective of how old the member is, how senior they are, how new they are, or what background they come from. They all
yeah,
are there just to give you all kinds of suggestion, be it E sir, be it brigadier sir. I think Vinay, everybody in the group is like absolutely full of energy.
yeah.
So, yes, we have one more comment from Brigadier Sir that, wow, Alka, you said it, you need to relate with the audience. I always ask the organizers, what would the audience think, feel, and do after my talk training session? That's wonderful. Absolutely.
That's it.
It's about
Absolutely.
relating to the audience. So,
Yeah.
ma'am, moving ahead, we are quickly going to get into what do you call that? Quick rounds of questions.
Okay.
So, super questions, rapid
Yeah.
fire round, and you're ready for it?
Always ready.
So, I've
Always
changed all
ready.
the questions what we discussed, okay?
You can ask any question you want.
Great. Great. Okay. So, this is starting with the rapid fire round. The
Yeah.
first question is last book or your favorite book you've read?
So I'm a very ardent reader of just picking up the books right now. This is my shelf, where I keep my books. This is my favorite book, Vedanta Treatise. But right
Okay.
now, and this book is my reading for last 15 years. Actually, I keep reading it, rereading because it helps me in my life. And this is a new book which has come, Outlive. Outlive is a
Okay.
book which I'm reading right now. Very difficult to understand, but I read just one page every day, and I reread it. I reread it, and in this book, Outlive, it's about how social connections actually are helping us to increase our longevity. When we are negative, when we are alone, our DNA is also changing. It's called that the epigenetic studies are showing that our chromosomes are becoming smaller and smaller in size because of the stress and the negativity and the loneliness that we are having. So, having more friendships, having more social connections is actually a scientific way of helping us to become more thriving and more surviving in this world. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So, if you catch hold of this book, it's a very fat book. So, it's not that you can read it in 1 day or 2 days or 1 month or 2 months. It's your lifelong companion because there are a lot of things which are studied. The neuroscience of different subjects, it is being studied in that, and it is telling us how we can live a wonderful, complete, and a holistic life. So that's the answer to your question, the books part.
Right.
There are many books, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. Best advice you've ever received?
So when I became a doctor, my grandfather, who is a leprosy doctor, he used to be a very, very passionate person who helped the people of leprosy. He used to go down to the villages and he used to sit with them, and he never bothered that he will catch leprosy. At that time, there was no cure for leprosy. He told
Hmm.
me one sentence. He wrote for me. We had a big greeting card lying there, and on the greeting card back, it was a plain page, and he wrote to me, empathize with the patient. That's all. And this applies to me. I never understood what the meaning was, empathize with the patient at that time. I was just a very, very young doctor. But empathize with everyone. Understand the problems of other people in your life. Care for people. Show your love for people. That is what I learned in my life. And that was connection, nothing but connection. So
Beautiful.
that was the
Beautiful. I
advice
think
I received.
half of the problems would be solved, I think, from speaking and listening.
Yeah.
Right. Beautiful.
Yeah, listening is
Beautiful.
part of empathy, actually.
Yes.
Very true.
So your favorite memory as a speaker, any
There
stage,
are
international,
many.
international, anywhere.
So there was a time I was speaking to the college students, and I wanted to connect with them. So I had planned to sing one song for them, and it so happened that I sang a romantic song for them, and they were young people, no, very, very young people. So I cannot sing that old songs and all that, which I normally sing for the elderly people or the seniors. So I sang that song of what jhumka, what jhumka, what jhumka. And they were laughing and they were in bursts of laughter. And I did the
Okay.
dance and I made them dance on what jhumka, that new song.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that was one memory I have of recent
Yes.
performance of mine. Yeah.
Great, great. So we have one comment here, a leprosy doctor. That is Jessica is saying, leprosy doctor. Wow, that is beautiful. No wonder you have a big heart. It's taught in families.
Yes.
Empathize with patients. So that also
Yes.
reminds me of being patient with patients.
Yeah. To be
Patience
very
with
patient.
patients, because that's the title I always give for my trainings also
Yes.
with hospitals. So
Yeah.
patience with patients, that's right. So thank you, Jessica, and all the viewers. So moving ahead, what is the most challenging experience you faced in life as a speaker? Okay, it can be as a speaker or as a
So I went.
person.
So in personal life, there have been so many challenges.
Okay, then we'll stick to
But
speaker.
as a speaker, I had gone for one keynote. It was a 45-minute keynote, and I had carried my pen drive with me. I'd also sent them the slides on email. But when I reached there, they had some problem in their computer, and the slides were not there. And my pen drive also was not working. And something happened. I don't know what exactly happened. And didn't have the slides. And they said, "Ma'am, what are we going to do?" I said, "Nothing. What's there to do in that? We'll talk." And I tell you, that was the best session of my life. And as it is, my slides are not, they don't have text, I don't keep text on my slides. I only keep pictures on my slides. So
Pictures,
those
yes.
pictures were not there. So it's okay. And as soon as I finished my presentation, as soon as I finished all the storytelling and all the acting and all the interaction, and I had so much of interaction that day because I was not concentrating on slides. I was only talking and talking to them. As soon as I finished my presentation and my performance, the light came and the slides came. And it was easy for me to just show them one or two slides which were
Yes.
relevant to them. So that was the one of the little bit of a challenging situation, not that much of a challenge. Life is full of challenges, and I love my challenges in my life.
I know. Wonderful. That's brilliant. So, what is one principle you follow in your life?
Be honest to yourself.
Okay.
If you're
Be
honest to
honest.
yourself, then you can be honest with everybody in your life. Be honest,
Okay.
yeah.
Right. What is one advice you would give to new speakers?
Be real, be genuine, be
Mm-hmm.
authentic. Speak from your heart. Speak whatever you feel like saying to the world. Sometimes we want to say something which we are not congruently feeling in our heart. Don't say that. Say what is in your heart. It becomes so much easier actually. You don't have to learn it also. When you say what is in your heart, it's the simplest thing on life in life. Thank you.
Yes, I think this is a very, very beautiful message, that being authentic and speak from the heart, because the more you make it artificial, or the more you make it, decorative or flowery, it becomes complicated, and then you get entangled in that. I think so. So, very beautiful advice. Absolutely great. Thank you so much. And one last question. What's one thing you are looking forward to doing in the next year? So it's not a goal, but just
There's so
amongst
many
many things.
things. I'm working on my fourth book right now. It's on daughters. And Sonali,
Oh,
you have to give me your story. What? Huh? I told you last time also. Huh? I told you, and you have to
we
give me a
we are
story.
we are
You have
we
to
are
give
live,
me
so
a
we have to
story.
say how.
You have to give me a story of a daughter because this
Okay.
book is about the emotions of a daughter. We are four
Okay.
sisters to my dad, and my dad has sung me loris. He has sung me stories. He has made me sleep. He has made me get up. He has taken me for the different practices of badminton, athletics, running. My dad spent so much of time with us daughters, and it is my need to give it back to my dad. My dad is no more, but I want to show the love that my parents showed for me, and I want to show the love of the daughters for their parents. They do so much. They're so expressive, and that's what I'm writing about. I thought
Beautiful.
that we're going to have a book show in BSS 2025. I'm not very sure whether it's happening or not, but if it is happening, then I would launch my book at that time. So it's the emotions, the connections that a daughter has with the parents, but these connections help us to become better human beings with the rest of the whole world, and that helps me to become a better
Wonderful.
speaker also. Yeah, so I'm waiting for many
Wonderful.
people to tell me some stories who have daughters. Today Suresh Varghese, he was here from Chennai. He had come to meet me here. He was going to Lonavala, so I met him. So he was having a lot of stories with his daughter. Brigadier Bhasin is having a lot of stories with his daughter. Oliver,
Okay.
what are you doing here? Oliver, my God. Be honest, be real, and be
Be
authentic.
honest,
Yeah.
be real, and authentic. Love it.
Nice to see you, Oliver. So nice to see
It's
you. So
it's
these are my
wonderful to.
things which I want to share with the world, and this is my thing which I'm going to publish in this coming year, and rest of the year. Then I don't know. I will having something else in my mind, but I'm revealing only my book right now to you. Yeah.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. No, I think it completely missed out. I skipped out of my mind because maybe you would have mentioned, but not in so much of detail. Thank you for sharing this, and it's been a great conversation. A lot of points, the be it the three P's or the human connection, and being authentic. The advice for the new speakers, the PSS coming up, and so many things. So we have Brigadier Sir saying, I love my challenges. Wow, I love that. So we
Yeah.
had so many
Challenges.
beautiful, yes, so many beautiful comments, and the audience joined us for the show. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was such a wonderful talk and conversation with you. And
Yes.
knowing you a little bit, I think
Yeah.
I connected more. So,
So I want to throw some light at Sonali, because Sonali has been doing a lot of work, and I want you to tell us something about your own life and how the challenges, like what Brigadier just said, is that challenges in my life. He loves his challenges, and if there is no challenge, life is very boring. You should have
yeah,
some challenges happening in your life, and when you have a fight with your people in your life whom you love lots, that conflict is very very important, because the truth
yes,
comes out from inside. तूने मेरे लिए ये नहीं किया था, तूने मेरे लिए वैसा किया था, तूने ऐसा किया था, तूने वैसा किया था. So that is the truth of life. You want to tell those things to the opposite person, but you don't tell that.
absolutely.
And that the fight and the conflict is the basis of life. The challenges are the basis of life, because they make you tell the truth of your life. So Sonali, you share with us, what are you doing right now, and how are you shaping your 2025? Wishing you all the best and luck for the future, and joy and happiness. But tell us and share something about yourself, whatever you want to share.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this opportunity. Just, I think I've already shared that I'm a trainer. So I'm an author. I've authored a book, and I'm a Kathak dancer, and I love to do theater. So these are all other things which I love to do. And I think even I'm looking forward for an upcoming book, maybe in the next year, and to do my trainings more passionately and have some plans, because a lot of ups and downs have kept coming in the way. I started my company and I closed it, and I then again restarted it, and then things keep happening. So but I think a lot of people were around, have been around, and I've got support, and amazing people like you mentoring Brigadier Sir, and all the team. So thank you so much, and it was wonderful having you here and
Thank you.
having
Thank you
this
so.
talk with you. Thank you so
And
much. Thank you.
Kavina, thank you so much for being at the back end, and Anupriya
Yes,
and Brigadier Bhasin and all of you helping me to be on this platform. Kavina, you said love the entire show, but I love what you did with us. You helped us a lot today, putting the things on the right time. So
absolutely.
for making any event become a successful event, there's a lot of people working behind it. So today I want to tell
Yes,
you that PSS 2025, which is coming up in February 2025 in Mumbai, there's a lot of teamwork. There's a lot of people who are helping behind the scenes. So be there and show up, and the showing up is most important. And you will get a lot of connections over there. That is the power of human connection. Come there,
yes,
meet us, and connect with us. That face to face connection is very very important. Right now we are on the screen,
absolutely.
but when you come there, you will feel the energy, the enthusiasm of PSA 2025. So thank you, PSAI, and thank you, Sonali, for that wonderful questions that you had prepared, and everybody on the stage and backstage for having me here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.